You have been lied to when it comes to the amount of progress that you can see if you decide to focus on one project at a time rather than focusing on multiple projects at the same time. That's because you won't just achieve more. You will achieve more than you can imagine. 86 days ago, I decided to go all in on one project. That allowed me to see the kind of results that I would never expect to see. But previously, I spent the entire 6 years working on different projects at the same time. I thought that if I do so, I will have more opportunities to make something work out and that I will be able to learn more. If you are in the same situation, if you think the same, then please watch this video, because in this video I am going to break down exactly what happened after I finally decided to focus all of my time, focus and energy into one project. I want you to see how big of a difference it actually makes, and I want to save you a lot of time, because as I already mentioned, the lesson that I'm going to give you in this video took me 6 years to realize. So the craziest thing that I have ever done was when I was running my blog. I want you to realize one thing. When you are growing a blog, it's really hard to get people to visit your blog, because you are competing with essentially everybody else on the world, because your blog is hosted on Google. So there is even more competition than on YouTube, let's say, and many people who are in this space, they spend literally thousands of dollars every single month on paid ads to bring them more traffic, and they have multiple traffic sources that ultimately redirect people to their blogs. And so it's really hard to compete in this space. And so one time I heard someone say that if I want to have any chance at all, then I also need to build a lot of traffic sources. And so I decided to do exactly that. And I developed a system in which I essentially was writing a blog post, then I was repurposing to some kind of Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, Instagram carousels. I was also reposting it on YouTube, on Pinterest. I had a Twitter account, I had a Facebook page, and I was using all of those platforms to essentially try to drive traffic to my blog. And the best thing about it is that I was the person running all of those pages. So in other words, I was focusing on multiple different projects at once. That wasn't the only time when I did that, but that was the time when I just went absolutely crazy with that. Now, as you are hearing this, I want you to realize how hard it was to keep up with, because I was trying to post multiple blog posts every single day on my blog, and then I had to repurpose every single one of them into all of those platforms. It's absolutely crazy, right? And yet here I was, trying to actually sustain that. Do you know how it made me feel? It made me feel as if I was a complete failure, because obviously I wasn't able to keep up with it. And so I thought, it made me think that I'm not productive, that I'm just not the kind of person that could achieve success in this space. My self-image was completely destroyed and I was overworked. There was one day when I literally fell asleep in front of my PC because of how tired I was. And that project, that entire blog project, eventually led to me burning out. Like completely burning out. I had to mentally recover for about 4 months. And in those 4 months, I essentially did not do anything. I was just playing games and hanging out with my friends, but in terms of work, in terms of improving myself, I was stuck in the same place because of that. And that was the last project in my life where I was trying to do so many things at once. That was the last time. After that, after I experienced this kind of burnout, I decided that no, I'm not repeating the same mistake ever again. And so there was a point in my life when I decided to start this YouTube channel that you are watching right now. And I decided that from now on, YouTube will be the only project, even though I knew that I could potentially do other stuff, like I could maybe open up an Instagram page once again and try to grow this Instagram page as well, and then bring more traffic to my YouTube channel. I still decided that no, I'm not going to try to grow any kind of other traffic sources. This time I will be focusing only purely on YouTube. And the funny thing is that at first I felt as if I fell off, essentially, because I felt as if I was not productive, because I was doing way less work. Instead of posting multiple blog posts every single day and then repurposing them, now the only thing that I needed to do was to spend 20 minutes maximum recording a video for YouTube. And I didn't really prepare for that. I didn't have to do anything at all other than just pressing the record button and speaking about something. And so there was this massive jump in terms of work that I needed to do. And I felt really bad with that. But at the same time, I couldn't really complain because like it was less work, right? I just felt really unproductive and as if it was unfair essentially. But what's interesting here is that even though I did less work, I kept going for those 86 days. And the reason why I essentially put this number in the title is because exactly after 86 days, this was the day when I published my Clash of Clans video, which you probably know already, which got 200k views. That one single video allowed me to achieve all of my childhood dreams essentially, because I was able to hit 1000 subs, I was able to finally go viral with something, I was finally able to taste the success. And yeah, I realized that up to this point I was just telling you a story, but I did that for a reason, because now I want to tell you why you need to actually focus on only one project, because like that was just my example that I actually did that and that it just worked for me, right? But now since I want to give you like actually valuable advice, I'm gonna show you the reasons as to why you should focus on only one project at a time, even if it feels unfair to do, as it was in my example. So the reason number one is that you will have more time to rest, which is extremely important. You need to rest, you need to have enough rest, because if you are constantly pushing yourself, what I noticed is that over time, this work that you are trying to do, all of those tasks that you assign to yourself will become harder and harder, and not necessarily because they will like physically become harder to do, but because your brain will start resisting. Your brain will not want to work on that anymore. And that will happen because you will not have enough rest. It's really hard to keep up with multiple projects at the same time. The reason number two as to why you should focus on only one project is that this will allow you to have more time to find good ideas. I want to tell you one thing. The video that blew up, it did not blow up because of like an outstanding title or the great thumbnail. Actually, it really didn't have any kind of thumbnail, and I literally just wrote down the title in like 2 seconds. I honestly did not put any work at all into that video. But the reason why it blew up was because I had enough time to find great ideas. And I want you to realize one thing: if you give yourself enough time to rest and to find more ideas, and for your brain to kind of go into this wandering mode and just think about all of this stuff that you are working on right now, what will happen is you will enter this kind of flow state in your mind, and then you will start discovering new ideas, new ways of like writing offers, of writing cold DM scripts, of writing cold emails, of designing landing pages, of creating different kind of solutions for your clients. You will be able to have enough time to truly tap into the deepest levels of yourself, and then from that you'll be able to extract really good ideas, really good ways of solving problems that you might face. And not many people talk about it because it's not really sexy to hear. Like most people would like to hear that if they focus on only one thing they will be able to fly and levitate and read minds, but that's not really the case. The beauty of it lies in those things that are not really that sexy to hear. But this is so important. I want you to realize one thing. The people that are the most successful are not successful because like they did something new. Like everything that you hear here on YouTube or anywhere else has been already said. They are becoming successful only because they have the great idea on how to package this thing in a different way. And that rule applies to everything, whether we are talking about different kind of YouTubers or business owners. They are using the same rule that if you give yourself enough time, you will be able to find really great ideas, which will then allow you to beat your competition essentially. Another thing is that if you are able to give yourself enough time to find those great ideas, then it will mean that you will have enough time to also dive deeper into this topic and learn about it and become a master at your craft, which is also important because then you'll be able to like produce better quality service, better quality content, and you'll be able to provide more value. And at the end of the day, it's all about who can provide the most amount of value. And what's also important is that you will be able to avoid all of the frustration that I personally went through, because as I said, I felt as if I was unproductive, as if I was not the kind of person who could achieve the goals that I had. And obviously you will be less likely to experience this burnout, which is a horrible feeling. Those were the benefits of focusing on only one project at a time. I know that it wasn't really that sexy to hear, but if you truly sit down and think about it, it's so important for you to realize. And please, like if you're working on multiple projects at once right now, then please stop and please reconsider what I just told you in this video. think about it, because it will change your life if you decide to focus on only one project at a time. It will have the highest ROI. Yeah, so that is everything from me for this video. I hope you found value in it. If that's the case, you can like it, you can subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Check out the links in the description, and other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.